while Allen Ginsberg recite his epic scream at the currently closed Six Balcony in San Francisco on October 7, 1955, he was growing up versus the common Cold Warfare, the wars in Asia, and which CEO Dwight Eisenhower had duplicated the War Industry Facility. San Francisco lyricist Lawrence Ferlinghetti, company founder of Townlights booksellers and publishers, was in the auditorium and shipped Ginsberg a telegram later offer to issue it. The hit poets began the counterculture motion in the arts. How is the cause all the artists I aware are yet there in San Francisco, told Andrew Sean Greer, a San Francisco-based romanist who won the 2018 Pulitzer Award for Less Than. Townlights is host an outdoor building, galleries are showing his photographic and pictorial, and San Francisco Mayoress London Rock will announce March 24 Lawrence Ferlinghetti date. Down there will as well be events in New York Town for the Bronxville home, who excited to San Francisco following visiting College of Polar Carolina at Oratory Mound, serving in the U.S. Navy for Planet War II and grade high school at Columbia College in New York and the Sorbonne in Paris. Saturday should be a large day of festivity in Lawrence's honor, told punk rock art surrealism Winston Blacksmith, who intended the contentious Corpse Kennedy's scrapbook lid, In God We Confidence, Inc. in 1981. He is so really favored by his friends and neighbors in Polar Bathing Beach, and human beings all circle the planet. Setting up in the humane racing for a complete age deserves a award. His friends and fans Winty Fair commemorate his wealthy story, consisting his stay for complimentary speaking for the indecency test, how accompanied the publishing of Scream and some poems. The test traction the hit general writers, that turned on Ginsberg, Nest Kerouac, William S. Burroughs, Neal Cassady, and Ferlinghetti, on the domestic phase. Nor do they fare honor Ferlinghetti's mark in the planet of verse, especially his 1958 volume of poems, A Rabbit Isle of the Reason. In the top seller, he alerted of freeways 50 lanes broad, on a specific mainland, spaced in mild billboards, showing idiot illusions of joy. They are celebration a lyricist and militant who is yet making plant of mention. Publishers Week named his newest roman, Slight Little Boy, liberated on March 19, amazingly expressive and a Proustian festivity of both of Ram and moments. How will pleasure readers. Lot will chief to Polar Bathing Beach to commemorate the history and this of the lyricist, the bookshop and the publication business the weekend. If you can't exceed the festivity, there are some ways. Investigate the hit general, San Francisco's wonderful literature stage and the hit gen's impact on the planet. The bookshop has not just remained a storage of counterculture written of the 1950s and 1960s. It continues to develop as a meet location for poets, writers, and literature events, and as a location for advanced books and ideas to evolve. The bookshop's newest chapter, Pedagogies of Impedance, was created in the wake-up of the 2018 U.S. President poll. To get an introduced to Townlights publication, try the 60th anniversary date publication of the Townlights Pouch Poets compilation, that was editable by Ferlinghetti by himself. As Townlights and the artists who commemorate it go on to develop and extend their express for the hit civilization, they are profitable take into account to some art formats. Townlights veterans as well encouraged Helminth Balcony, wherever the hit museum at first outdoor a interim position and wherever an all-female painter queue took above the area on the World Day of the Female over the year. Household 2 and wide gallery of hit memorabilia, the alone belonging, or partly ragged, museum is cost a trip to see the natural external trappings of these artists, writers, poets, and raconteurs. The museum will ultimately be closing for 6 months' time. Its house undergoes a town-required earthquake modernization and the owners are fundraiser to lift cash to resume following the job is made. Photograph and cameraman Christopher Felver, who has registered Ferlinghetti's lifetime on movie and in photographic, has a shaw of his photos at the museum via June 30th. The guys at Townlights yet love to trip neighboring Caffe Trieste, mentioned for the Italian hometown of founding member Giovanni Giotta. Wherever Greer as well occasionally writes. The Giotta household claims how the cafe, that they outdoor in 1956, was the at first espresso coffee building set on the Western Shore. Francis Wade Coppola wrote lot of the Godfather scenario at the coffee house. The is very a salon of the hit general, whose discovery predates neighbor Townlights by 5 years. The ultimate position for guys to sip, hear to jazzy and recite verse, Vesuvio may be largest renowned for compliance nest Kerouac of meet Henry milling machine operator one overnight in 1960. Milling machine operator favorite Kerouac the Dharma bums and wrote him how he requested to encounter him. Instead of drive to Big Sur for their meet, Kerouac stored inviting milling machine operator to say he'd be detained and stored potable crucifix San Francisco Bay to trip Mo's Books in Berkeley. Based in 1959 by Mo and Varvara Moskovitz, it sells new books and buys and sells utilized books. Mo's, that excited in the medium of Berkeley's complementary speaking motion on telegraph device prospect in the 1960s, has posted Ferlinghetti, amongst other. And its April plan is packed in verse readings, consisting Decorum by Sally Ashton, Arlene Biala, Ali Warren and Alan Bernheimer. We recognize the new in extortion chamber rates how would do any faithful of the beat swim of, and it's more than rather than pure, that as well might be odd to the guy's San Francisco Observer grass scene derisively named Beatniks. He invented it soon following the start of the Ruski satellite Sputnik in 1958. In logo guests can delight verse slams at the Inn's Indecency Bar and Hall, Saturday meditation technique classes and books via the Volume Steward program, showing a wagon of hit general publication curate by Townlights, and to room libraries.